three layers of embryonic germ cells. Ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Okay, so from two layers just now, two layers bilayer disc. Okay, layer. Uh, from these two layers. The rest of it is a supporting cells or supporting layers throughout pregnancy. Okay. Okay. Next. Apa lagi? Kat mana tadi kita? Okay. Although differs in detail from one cell to another, the process is driven by the same general mechanism. So this point here just to say that if we observe in different types of species or animal, it might be a slightly different, but the general mechanism, meaning cleavage is it's occurring in all species. Gastrulation also occurring in all species. Gastrulation also occur in all species. Okay. Maybe the detailing process is quite different, slightly different. Okay. Next. Okay. In gastrulation, the three layers produced by gastrulation. So let's recognize that three layers. That three layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So define these layers here. So these layers we call it embryonic germ layers. Germ cells. Remember germ cells? So these cells is is very multipotent, pluripotent. Okay, it able to differentiate themselves into many different types of tissues or organ, and they can function like that. Ectoderm. This ectoderm or the almost layers, the outer layer of the gastrula. So this gastrula, ectoderm, eventually it will differentiate and produce skin and nervous system. Okay, cortical and nervous system. You can follow the blue color here. Okay, so this one, if you remember the three layers just now, we have ecto, endo, and meso. This is cut across that structure. Okay, kalau saya nak tunjuk balik ni, tengok yang ni. Okay, cut across. We have 1, 2, 3, right? So we cut across the structure. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so ada 1, 2, 3. So this, the blue color is ectoderm. So eventually this ectoderm will differentiate into nervous system and skin. Okay, mesoderm. Mesoderm is the partly fills the space between endo and ecto. So the meso is in the middle. The red color here, this one. Okay, eventually this mesoderm will develop into skeleton, muscle, kidney, and so this structure here: muscle, kidney, heart, blood. Okay, differentiate. Organogenesis. The organogenesis of this mesoderm eventually differentiate into this organ, this system. Endoderm. Endoderm is this part over here, layer here. Okay, the yellow color, just this part. Okay, remember, endo is the most inner, right? So this structure actually, the invagination, the third layer, the three layers that we observe, in 3D form is already covered. I mean, so you can see the red part here. So that is mesoderm. The invagination also already covered or surrounding the endoderm. So this endoderm eventually will differentiate into a digestive tract. Okay, the gut, liver, and lungs at the middle. Okay. All right. And this is hormonal control of early pregnancy. So this one I already elaborate it just now. It's related with the blastocyst, trophoblasts that produce HCG. So that HCG will stimulate corpus luteum to continue produce the progesterone estrogen. Okay, so it will continue thickening the the uterine wall, and that uterine wall, and also that uterine wall will prepare to receive a conception, a conceptus or embryo or implanted or implantation. Okay. Okay. At the same time, during this implantation, this another term, maternal recognition. Maternal recognition of pregnancy reflects the various ways in which the mother responds to the presence of the conceptus within her reproductive tract. So this her whole body system changing with secretion of many hormones. First, the progesterone itself, HCG itself, and then HCG and progesterone eventually will stimulate prostaglandin, apa lagi interferon, sekejap. Prostaglandin, dihydroketo, ada macam-macam lah the substances in order to get ready her body system to recognize that a new foreign cell is inside her body. Okay. Okay. So that maternal recognition is like a windows of implantation. Okay, it's like a time period where this where her wombs or her uterine wall, uterine cells is ready to accept or receive conceptus. Okay. And yeah. Okay. Just now we already covered this one, cleavage, plastulation and granulation, right? At the same time, in terms of the regulation or at the same times of these conceptus or embryology undergo or experiencing these stages, the body system of the mother, okay, or the uterine wall will experience this one. Okay, if I can zoom here. Okay, at this part here. This one. Okay, windows of implantation. The uterine wall, the uterine cell become receptive. Okay, receptive uterine. Okay, it will have digestive enzyme. The uterine wall will secrete digestive enzyme, and then any inflammatory response. Okay. What else? The blood vessel of the uterine wall also become very leaky. So it will increase the blood flow towards this mana gambar tu? Towards this part here. Okay. The uterine wall, especially the upper part of the uterine wall. Okay. Because that is the site of implantation, the best site of implantation to occur. Okay, apa ni di sebelah sini? Okay, interaction between blastocyst and maternal. So the interaction between blastocyst and the maternal system, there are two types, short range and long range. So short range, the interaction is actually the implantation process itself. So that is the interaction or communication of the process that occur in between blastocyst and the maternal implantation. So this is the step of implantation: opposition, adherence, and decidualization. Opposition meaning it's so this is the uterine wall. So this is the conceptus or the fetus. Okay, opposition. And then it start to stick, adherence, and then this decidualization is actually the whatever process that happened that occurring in the endometrium wall. Okay, this one relate with the blood vessel become leaky, edema, inflammatory, the proliferation of the embryo, the blastocyst. Okay, nanti kita akan tengok structure tu. And then the blood vessel become leaky and the vascularization, okay, the blood vessel uh, increase increase vascularization of at the implantation site. Okay, another interaction is long range. This one, long range interaction. This is the maternal recognition step itself. Okay, its explanation about the HCG present. It will act to the corpus luteum. Okay, so this point here, HCG is a LH-like hormone. Okay, luteinizing hormone like HCG ni. Structure dia lebih kurang sama LH. Okay, rise in 1-2 month and then rise in 1-2 month. Drop short. Drop short at fourth. Right, go to ovary. Okay, so this is the a detailing process. What happened when HCG process, HCG present, and it will continue the luteal cells, the integrity of luteal cells in order to produce progesterone. Okay. Okay, luteolytic factors. This one relate with the maternal recognition also. It will luteolytic, luteotrophic factors. This is two factors that relate with whether the corpus luteum, luteolytic factors or luteotrophic, where it relate with the integrity or maintaining of the corpus luteal cells here. Okay, you can use this keyword to have more reading on it. Gastrulation, maternal recognition. Okay, ni dah tahu tadi ya. Model response to the presence of the conceptors. So, or the interaction between the maternal body and the blastocyst. Okay, must occur before luteolysis. If you so this is what I tried to explain just now, luteolysis. Okay, so the time frame here. Okay, luteolysis usually occur at the end part here. Remember ada menses kat sini kan? So this maternal recognition must occur before luteolysis. So it will need to be occur during this time, blastulation tadilah kan, cleavage and blastulation. Okay, this is a process in which some type of signal prevents luteal, okay. Some types of signal prevent luteal regression. Okay, this signal is actually the luteotrophic just now. Okay, the luteotrophic. Luteotrophic factor. Factor, F factor. Okay. Okay. This diagram here just to show the cyclic menses. Okay, cyclic uterine cycle and ovarian cycle, up and down in terms of progesterone serum, right? But once the mating occur and fertilization success, so we can observe the progesterone serum will continue to be secreted until the end of pregnancy. Okay. Here the arrow here, maternal recognition, it did just point out where this maternal or windows of implantation occurring. So yeah. Okay, so in the cow and ewe, the blastocyst blocks the synthesis of uterine oxytocin receptors by the endometrium cells of pregnant uterus. Okay. Okay, let me refresh back what I want. Okay. Okay. Remember, edit. Okay. Remember we have blastocyst, right? Trophoblast and inner cell mass. Okay. Okay. These cells here can secrete HCG. HCG. At the same time, we have that corpus luteum. Okay. Satu je. Kau banyak. Sebab satu je sel, satu je ovulation. Pada balik. Okay. Okay. So this is an example what happened in the cow. So might be this mechanism also present in the human being. Okay, blastocysts have trophoblast, so it will secrete HCG. At the same time, we have uterine wall, right? Okay. So in uterine wall system, okay, due to the presence of blastocysts, it will induce or stimulate interferon. Okay, interferon is actually, if I'm not mistaken, immunology factor or substances. Okay, please find out about this and you can tell story to me. Okay, so this interferon present. Of course, interferon also always present in our body actually, but blastocyst here will induce, will cause the interferon to block synthesis of uterine oxytocin. So the uterine cells over here, they are able to produce oxytocin receptors. So if we draw a cells, so let's say this is the uterine cell, okay, so nucleus, so they have this vesicle, so this contain protein structure, so this protein structure is actually the oxytocin receptors. Okay, when these oxytocin receptors present at the cells, uterine cells here, okay, if oxytocin hormone is present, it will bind to the oxytocin receptors and then cause contraction of uterine cells. Okay, it will contract. But for during pregnancy or during early stage of pregnancy, you have to relate this with the timing. Okay, timing yang saya cakap tu, ni hari ke-14, ni hari kosong, ni hari ke-20, katalah 28 kan, tu ke hari 7 hari yang akhir ni, ataupun if you remember the menstrual cycle, the end of this time frame, this one ada menses kan, ada dah start berlaku menses, right? So menses ni is the slot off of the uterine wall. So uterine wall, during the slotting off of the uterine wall, is actually what happened is the contraction of this cause the slotting off. Okay, the contraction of this uterine wall and the slotting off of the wall is due to receptors. So oxytocin receptors ada, and then oxytocin hormone ada, it will bind and then it cause contraction and then slotting off, right? But during pregnancy, what happened is because of blastocyst is present, okay, trophoblast produce HCG. HCG continue the integrity of luteal cells to produce progesterone. Okay, at the same time, what happened at the uterine wall? Buat warna merah boleh. Okay. What happened at the uterine wall actually? Okay. Blastocyst present, so interferon in the body system. Interferon is a, if I'm not mistaken, immunology factor. Okay. So this present, interferon also already present. So it will cause, because of these two, it will block these cells here, uterine cells, will block the production of receptor, oxytocin receptor. Therefore, no oxytocin receptor, no oxytocin receptor for each uterine cells. But oxytocin, at the end of this menses, oxytocin hormone or substances, it's there, but they cannot bind to any of the uterine cells because no receptor. Therefore, no contraction. Therefore, this endometrium wall, no contraction, right? But they are being receptive. Because no contraction, so they are being receptive towards a foreign cell here, or we call it fetus, okay, for implantation process. Okay. Okay, this one. Interferon a non-specific glycoprotein, from a white blood cell. Dah ada dekat sini ya, saya tak perasan ni. Okay. From white blood cell and trophoblastic cell. Trophoblastic cell, where this come from? Trophoblastic cell. So remember back our hollow ball here. Blastocyst is a hollow ball. So the outer layer is the trophoblast. Ingat ni structure ni trophoblast. Okay, so this is maternal recognition. So this communication, this mechanism here, this whatever happened here between this trophoblast, this blastocyst and secreting HCG to to maintain the luteal cell to produce progesterone, and plus the block of oxytocin receptors. Okay, so no more contraction or no more. So the uterine wall being receptive. So this is maternal recognition process. Okay. What else? Okay, so this interferon and trophoblastic also promotes protein synthesis by the uterine glands. So this uterine gland here, uterine wall, they also called glands because they are capable of secreting fluid. So that fluid can be protein synthesis, fluid can be any nourishment or any enzyme needed for the conceptors. Okay, promote protein synthesis by uterine glands. So this protein synthesis will be used by these embryo cells to survive. Okay, next. So this is about implantation. Now we know the endometrium wall or the endometrium system is being receptive to the new embryo, the new foreign cell. So for this slide here, there are two bigger type of implantation, non-invasive and invasive. Okay, under non-invasive, that implantation can occur centrally or central. This one. So this cartooning or the diagram here to represent the uterine ya. Kalau dalam manusia uterine kan, tapi dia buat bulat je ni, tak apalah. Okay, but you have to understand that the in cow or the implantation occur non-invasively, meaning the conceptors or embryo here implanted without degrading the uterine wall. Okay, non-invasive. It occurring like this, centrally. So another type is invasive. There are two types, eccentric and interstitial. So let's see this one first, the interstitial, example human and primate. This is interstitial. Why we call it invasive? Because the embryo, the fetus will adhere, will opposition is like they come into contact and then they will lekat, adhere, and then this embryo also will produce proteolytic enzyme or any enzyme that degrade the uterine wall because they want to enter inside the uterine wall. Okay, interstitial, that's why we call it interstitial, because it invade inside, okay, into the endometrial wall. Okay, eccentric, like right here, embryo enters a critically or fold of the uterine. So right, it will opposition, and then it when they connect meet endometrium wall and the embryo, and then this the endometrium wall, they will cover like a cover that embryo. Okay, this one is decidualization lah. Okay, the uterine wall decidualization, the blood flow, the vascularization will surrounding, okay, or folding the embryo. Okay, eccentric. All right. Ni apa? Implantation, HCG stimulation. Ni dah tahu. Okay. We know that progesterone to maintain the thickening of the endometrium wall. Okay. And then it will strengthen for embryo to implant. Okay, after 3 months, the corpus luteum degrades and the placenta takes over. So we know that we have 9 months. 3, 3, 3. Total 9. Sebenarnya ada 12 dan lagi satu kan? Okay, 3. Okay, so the early part here, ni start dengan ovulation. Okay. So you can see fertilization occur here, and then when fertilization success, conceptus, okay, maternal recognition, and then maintaining of the endometrium wall, the HCG, everything, implantation. Okay. Once the embryo implanted, at the same time placentation, okay. Embryo implanted, at the same time placentation also occur. So placentation occur here. Okay, at the end of the third month here, corpus luteum, no more corpus luteum. Lukis sikit ni. So no more corpus luteum at the end here because placentation ada ke sini kan. So the placenta will take place, will take over to produce progesterone. Okay, so that placenta dekat sini, dia take over produce progesterone, it will maintain towards the end of the pregnancy. Progesterone is really needed for the maintaining, thicken and strengthen of the endometrium wall. Okay. Dah tahu. Uterine tissue begin to form placenta. Okay, dah tahu lah. Implantation occur, placenta occur. Placenta itself secrete estrogen and progesterone. Okay. So this one again, trophoblast ni dah tahu. Okay, does not outer epithelium cell. If you have to define trophoblast, this is the definition: outer epithelium layer or outer epithelium of blastocyst. Okay, it's an epithelium cells. Okay, ni. Initiate implantation, secrete enzyme. So you can see here the hollow ball. So this is the inner cell mass. Once it oppose, and then it will adhere melekat kan. And then these cells here, especially at this part, you can see the trophoblast. The inner cell mass. Ni kan, kalau kita bagi ni kutub sini, ni kutub satu lagi kan. So the embryo with this inner cell mass always facing the endometrium. Okay, and this part here, okay, is the extension of these trophoblastic cells, extension cells, proliferate and extend. So these cells here will secrete the enzyme to degrade the endometrium wall. Okay, tadi dah cakap dah. It will degrade or break down the endometrium wall, expand region through cell division, expand, proliferate the cell, okay, the trophoblastic cells. So this is implantation, okay. At the same time here, you can see the inner cell mass of blastocyst form flat disc, okay. So the inner cell mass form a flat disc. Now we call it epiblast, the upper part, and the hypoblast, the lower part. The upper part, Okay, the upper part and the lower part, epiblast and hypoblast. Okay, so this cell extensioning, this one proliferate from the trophoblast. Okay, so this cell also secrete enzyme. So you can see here, this is an example of ni cut across. So maternal blood vessel. So eventually towards the end of implantation, so towards the end of the third month where placenta is already present, a lot of blood vessel around here. Okay. Okay, so this one step by step of the implantation process, blastocyst with uterus. Nah, inilah saya cakap opposition tadi, apposition. Dalam this one, opposition, apposition. Okay. Next. Okay. Opposition and then adherence and then okay, dah masuk decidualization. As you can see, decidualization dah ada start. This one maternal blood vessels and the extensions. You can take note the days here. And then extra embryonic membranes start to form. Extra embryonic layers and membranes. So it's actually the outside here. Okay. Gastrulation begin. Gastrulation involve this one. Extra embryonic is this outside. Okay. So you can see gastrulation. Okay. Trophoblastic continue expand its region by mitotic. Inilah. Okay. Form a finger-like projection. If I want to say what is the finger-like, I think this is much more finger-like, but eventually this finger-like will form this almost like this. Okay. Form finger-like projection into surrounding of maternal tissue. Here, invasion leading to erosion of capillaries. So eventually it will erode these capillaries. So blood will spill out. Eventually this blood will like accumulate in one kantung, one cakap apa? Satu kawasan lah. Okay. As implantation completed, gastrulation begin. Okay, tak apa tu. Cell move inwards. So this is about implantation. This is about gastrulation. Implantation completed, gastrulation begin. Gastrulation is the cell move inward to invagination just now from epiblast. So we have this epiblast. This one. Okay. So the cell move inward and that eventually will form the three layers and epiblast become endoderm and mesoderm, so that hypoblast become the ectoderm. Okay, extra embryonic membrane begin to form. Okay, recognizing this structure here. Okay. A is coagulation plaque. So this is where the point of opposition and adherence ataupun meeting point of between blastocyst and the maternal. Okay, eventually when they invaded themselves inside and they put themselves inside. So this endometrial wall inflammatory response will occur. Okay, dia akan tutup balik lah. B, formation of this membrane, Husser's membrane. C, syncytiotrophoblasts. Dalam buku reference ada sebut ni. So this is actually these trophoblastic cells proliferate and then they merge themselves together. Macam tu cytio. Okay, trophoblastic lacuna, this hollow site here. E, uterine gland. Okay, so this one come from the decidualization. Okay, the blood vessel vascularization and then become very porous or leaky. Okay, and then F, amniotic cavity. So you can see arrow here, right? So the rearrangement of the cells also. This is okay. This slide here is like a diagram to show you where the cells come from. We know we have trophoblast, remember, and inner cell mass. So the inner cell mass is pluriblast. This one relate dengan pluriblast ni, germ cells are able to differentiate into many types of cells. Okay, so that trophoblast differentiate into cytotrophoblast and syncytiotrophoblast. Cytotrophoblast ni lah rasanya cells proliferate and then these cells merge themselves, cytoplasm. But you can find out the terms here. Okay, read more. And then become this part here, become chorion. Okay, hypoblast. We have the bilayer this just now, epiblast and hypoblast. Okay, so the hypoblast become the yolk sac. Okay, the epiblast, this one epiblast invaginate or move the cells or rearrange the cells eventually to produce this one, the compulsory endoderm, mesoderm, ectoderm. This one will become the fetus. At the same time also, this epiblast will produce this segment, extraembryonic or this layer, extraembryonic mesoderm and amniotic ectoderm. Eventually this produce or structured into amnion and allantois. Okay, ni placenta sebenarnya. I mean this is the structure of the pregnancy. Embryo ada, so this one contribute to the nourishment of the embryo. Okay, placentation. Okay, okay. The rest of it is about implantation and placenta. Okay, I think I'll stop here. So we will continue this later part here next week. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so far apa yang kita cover hari ni? Okay, we did cover on cleavage. Okay, we did cover on blastulation, compaction of the cells. Oh, salah. Compaction of the cells. Okay, and then we cover a bit of gastrulation. Ni belum habis lagi eh. At the same time, we cover the maternal recognition. Mana? Inilah the interaction of between cells. So a long range of the maternal recognition is actually what happened, the communication between the blastocyst and the maternal structure, plus the luteal cells. Okay. Another one is the short range. This is about the implantation. So a bit we stop halfway. I guess we stop halfway here. Okay. We stop halfway here. Okay. Lebih kurang. Then we stop halfway here maybe. Okay. Alright, ni dah cover. Okay. Okay guys, any questions so far? So far, yeah, because this chapter is quite complex. So if we have to go through these learning outcomes here, I hope by now. Okay. Define term and stages process, conception and development. I hope by now this first learning outcomes covered. If not fully covered, maybe 70-80%. Describe hormonal control. This one we're not finished yet because labor population also ada hormonal controls. Implantation types of in animals, yes, although it's very briefly. Okay. Okay, this is halfway lah. Identify, explain fetal development. Okay, but we know that the cleavage, blastulation, gastrulation. Yeah. Okay guys, any question on this flow or and these learning outcomes or at this or any part of the slide? Ada soalan? Tak ada, semua okey? Ada ke tak?
InsyaAllah tak ada. So far.
Thank you Ain.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you Ain. Alright, so let me capture, snapshot the attendance.